Boop. Oh,
Boop.
lovely noise to
Mm-hmm.
start out on. I pressed the start button and then immediately sneezed. But yeah, I can see that we're live now. Hello everyone. This is skull902. And today I'm going to be doing something a little different. I'm going to be doing a new game plus of Sonic Mania, just as a little visual element. But today's stream is more so about behind the scenes kind of things. But I can't talk about this alone, so I have a guest. In fact, the guest was the one who proposed the idea in the first place. Please introduce yourself.
Hi. It's what is my YouTube username again? Oh yeah, SonicStorm12. I keep forgetting about that. It's like I never go there anymore. Like ever. Ow, Betty. Ow. Okay, if I say ow randomly, it's because my cat keeps jumping on my lap and trying to tear out my headphones.
Ah.
So they're in
The
here, they're bugging me.
typical cat problems. I should actually,
Oh yeah.
before I get started, paste you the link as well.
Because I like pasty.
So that if anyone has any questions or whatever, you can help me out with that because my window will be obscuring the little chat box. But yeah, so we're gonna be talking about things like video editing or writing was the big thing that we had a discussion about before doing all this. So
Why
yeah,
is it giving me? Oh my god, I'm angry. I gotta sign into a different account because it's not giving me my normal account. It's giving me my other Gmail accounts. Like I don't have a YouTube channel on that account. But anyway.
so yeah, uh,
Yeah.
it's gonna be uh probably not that big of a contrast to that I had initially thought um of hyping up, but something that is a little important to note is that Sonic Storm, or whatever she wants to be called, has had at least a little bit of experience in like writing classes, whereas I have not. So
I think I took a couple master classes and what is it? Oh yeah, some workshops with the who is it now? Oh yeah, the multiple #1 New York Times bestselling author Jerry Jenkins. I think he's got like over almost 200 titles
oh
out.
my
Yeah,
goodness.
200 titles, and he's been published by over 50 publishing houses.
Well, fuck. If I knew that you were far too qualified to be on my stream, then
It was only for a few months. I had to stop because I just got too busy and I couldn't keep up with it.
why'd I do that? Sometimes I will make reference to the gameplay, but it's not really about the gameplay this time around.
Oh, but
As
the
I
gameplay's fun.
as I've said before, that's why I have the volume all the way off. If anyone in the chat is wondering.
Ow, my head hurts.
But yeah, God, I almost called you simp. I'm mistaking you for my other friend for some reason. Even though you don't sound like her at all. I'm a terrible friend.
You're a terrible host.
Yeah.
Terrible. Terrible, terrible.
And
Where am I going? I am doing too many things all at once. Ah. There we go.
well, okay, so again, uh, Sonic Storm has a little more, I'd say, professional experience than I do. I mean, I'm just some dummy who's wrote YouTube videos. You know, that's
Well,
my
let's emphasize the little bit more for
yeah,
a minute.
just a little bit, but still enough to be significant, at least in my eyes.
We're gonna go Siggy.
So yeah, just any questions about writing, or if we can come up with something to talk about. How long have we been on for? I don't even know, and we haven't even started talking about like our whole processes on things.
I'm just kind of okay. I'm gonna quit multitasking right now. Get out of there. Okay, now I can think. Yeah. What are you doing?
I'm playing Sonic Mania.
No, like what level?
Oh, this is Green Hill.
Oh, okay. Yeah, anyway, I guess what would be like the one thing you can't stand when it comes to oh sock stop it when it comes to I guess what you don't like to write about most.
What I don't like to write about most?
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, since I'm an unoriginal fuck, uh, I,
So I
I,
guess what would be your struggle when it comes to writing anything that you work on?
the closest thing that I can think of, again, because I'm terribly
Mm-hmm.
unoriginal, is I don't really have my own characters, right? So I'm just like, using established characters. And I don't really know if I'm doing characters that I'm not particularly fond of justice when I'm writing for them.
Mm-hmm.
I also just have like general confidence issues with my writing.
Oh.
I mean, I get compliments, right? And I'm very thankful.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I think everyone at least at one point, unless if they're really egocentric, wow, I'm gonna lose this.
You're gonna die.
I can't believe I died to that boss. I thought I had plenty of time. Yeah, well,
You died.
already starting off on a terrible, terrible note.
It's hard to think while you're watching you die. You got one ring. Dude, you gotta hurry.
I'm trying. I beat Donkey Kong Country 2 earlier today. I should be able to fucking do this. But yeah, that's
Just sucks.
just aside from writing in general, I guess. Well, no, I
Mm-hmm.
don't hate writing in general. That's actually my favorite hobby. Uh, it would just be like writing characters that I
Mm-hmm.
don't have a particular fondness for because I don't know if I'm getting them right. That's the closest thing I can
Like
think of to something.
developing them.
Just like trying to make up my own interpretations of them, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be development. I love development though. I don't know why. I just can't stop developing. It's fun. It's like my brain won't shut up. Sometimes it annoys me.
That's just a
I
weird
think that
thing,
was
though.
a
Oh, go on.
what happened? Oh, okay. I've never played this game, so I haven't a clue what you're doing.
Oh, don't worry about it. Again, it's not really about the game this time. This is just a visual stimulant.
hmm
Uh, but what were you saying about development? You said you like really like
Oh,
it.
I just can't get my brain to shut up about it. It goes on and on and on, and that was probably one of the biggest things when I was video editing, especially with my deception video. I just couldn't get it to stop. Like honestly,
No,
huh?
I said like I said no as a question, but I really should have been
Oh
like I should have worded
no,
that a
I
little
miss video
differently.
editing. I really do.
Oh yeah, the video
It was
editing
fun.
is uh if writing's my favorite part of the process, then video editing's
Mm,
probably my second favorite.
yeah. I wish I had the drive to video edit again, but it's just like I start and then it's like I don't care about this media. Like I have a good idea, I just can't think.
I don't know if I've gotten a kind of creator's block like that in terms of video
Mm,
editing. I think I've always had
hmm
a pretty solid idea of what I've wanted to do, but who knows?
Someone's asking, do you have a favorite animal?
Oh, do I have a favorite animal?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I'm
Is there's like any kind of animal that like comes to mind?
I am quite partial to dogs. Oh, I drowned. Nice.
No, well there you go. You're gonna
No, I did.
drown.
I fucking did.
Shut up, Socks. Oh wait. Jeez. Too vocal.
Very vocal.
Oh, all the time. You can have a conversation with that cat and she will probably win all the time.
What?
We
What
didn't
am
even
I?
get crushed this time.
What am I even doing in this?
I don't know.
Oh, nope, that didn't
Hurry.
work. I think I'm
Uh,
already fucked because I tried. Oh, there's the crush.
Socks,
Goodness.
stay off my computer, please. Please. I think she's probably written her own little novel by now, just with her walking all over my keyboard. Go away. Shush. Ew. I love you too. I love you too.
Damn it.
Go. You're gonna die.
With as stupidly as I've been playing today, I don't doubt it.
uh,
Oh, God, we've got to think about something writing related to talk about.
it's hard to think of it though, watching you die.
Okay.
Jump.
We've got to obviously keep it themed then. What's an
Themed, yes.
ideal death scene? There you go.
Ideal death scene. One where the character stays dead. Too often people keep bringing him back to life. It's like
I don't
if the
necessarily.
character dies, fine. Unless the character never actually died to begin with, it just appeared that he died. That's one thing. But when the character, like, literally, legit dies and he comes back, that just drives me nuts. I think I read a book, recently? The character is dead for, many, many chapters. And the guy's just carrying around her body, trying to figure out what to do with her. And then it's just spontaneously, she's alive again. It's like, I'm not impressed.
Would that be your own question, or sorry, your own answer to the question you asked me earlier? Then, like your biggest writing pet peeves, or would that be info dumps as we've
Actually,
talked about?
yeah, info dumps would be my biggest pet peeve. That and the misuse of there, and there.
Oh God, some
That's
people,
like rampant all over Facebook. It drives me
some people,
nuts.
fucking teenagers especially, really need to get get that together.
It's like they're over there with their car, not they're over there with their car. You get it?
And that's not to say that all teenagers are like that. Just if anyone
No.
in the chat's wondering, I remember being in my teens, and I would like to
Mm-hmm.
think that I had a decent grasp on grammar.
Yeah. Well, it's one thing when it's you're a kid and you're learning. It's another when you're an adult and you can't properly use the word.
Yeah, that's definitely like kind of confusing. As
Mm-hmm. Shush!
you took
I'm
first,
not talking to you. Huh?
you took first grade, didn't you? Fucking, you can fucking differentiate between there, and all the variations of through, and other such things.
Mm-hmm.
Just, what's wrong with this world?
You lost your bubble.
I
I
regained
want to
it.
be in a bubble. This game makes me feel envious about being in bubbles.
Oh, does it?
I have a headache. This is where my head goes.
Just to complete and total incoherence?
Oh yes,
Hmm.
every time.
This is going to be entertaining.
Uh, bounce. Oh, you said you hated, or not hated, but you didn't like. What was it? Oh, I'm trying to think. like making music videos or editing music videos.
Oh, right. Okay, that's something I could talk about. Was the 2 times that I tried to edit a music video together. Uh,
Hmm.
I had the. I mean, there's probably worse, but I had a very how should I put this? Non-friendly video editing program to do all that, and what I'm talking about is, of course, Windows Movie Maker, which was like
Oh.
my only thing that I had for a very long time.
Hmm.
And it's like, you know, Movie Maker is a really, I can appreciate it because it is actually a good beginner's tool for video
Hmm.
editing and like learning how to do especially cutting, because
Oh yeah.
you can't really fuck up cutting in a video editor. Even
No.
though you can't zoom into the timeline too much in Windows Movie Maker, but you
Or at all.
you can like learn things about where to cut your sources and sync things up to the audio and whatnot. And oh boy, it's this
Hmm.
part. um, so yeah, it's
I
just
remember using Movie Maker. That was so much fun. When I figured out I had a video editing software on my computer, dude, you couldn't keep me away from the computer. It just took me another month to figure out how to import music.
oh really?
Yes, I was an idiot. I
It
didn't know for the life of me how
it
to import
it
music.
took me a while also to like really learn Movie Maker, but once you master it,
Hmm. Oh
that's
yeah, and I think I got that program to do things it wasn't really meant to do, and it crashed so many times. But it was fun.
like once you master Movie Maker, I think that's when you start longing for a different video editing software. And
Oh yes.
yeah, I got Sony Vegas no goodness Sony Vegas Movie Studio is
Hmm.
what I have, what I got back in the day. Uh, but like I had a shitty computer, so it was kind of a thing of I had this nice video editor, but I couldn't learn it or anything because my hardware was bad.
Hmm.
So
I had that problem with After Effects. It's like finally I got a computer I could get After Effects on, but oh wait, I can't have Adobe Premiere Pro and After Effects on at the same time, or else it's gonna crash. So I had to delete it. So I never really got to learn how to use it.
oh,
It was sad.
that sucks.
I have it now finally, but it's like, what am I gonna do with it now? I don't do much.
Oh, thank God I got it first try. But just to just to bring it back to the original point, music videos. If I had a good computer and an editor like Vegas, I
Hmm.
probably wouldn't hate it as much because that would have made the process a whole lot easier. But the thing about Movie Maker is like because the timeline doesn't zoom in very much, is
Hmm.
even though you learn how to um, cut like pictures or whatever you use in your music video. Um, Sometimes if you want to sync it up to a song, you just can't with the amount of zoom that Movie Maker, or the lack thereof,
Yes, it's so
provides you.
hard.
And
I remember trying to get it at the exact moment. It's like, this sucks, but I think I got it. And then looking at it now, 10 years later, has it been 10 years? Dude, anyway, looking at it now, 10 years later, is like, I really sucked at timing back then, but everyone thought it was good, so I guess we'll roll with that.
yeah, and like I've been surprised with how close I can get the syncing in Vegas, because it's you can zoom into the timeline so much that you can edit frame
Hmm.
by frame. So
Yes. Yeah, I love that about Adobe too. It does the same thing where you can zoom into to the frame, and I think that's what I could have doing CS 5.5 is what I have. I'm behind in the times. I know I think it's like what 7 now, 7 or 8. I don't know.
Well, my version of Vegas Movie Studio is like version 11, and they're on 14 now. So
Oh wow.
yeah, I got
Yeah,
it.
I haven't even been keeping up with Adobe either.
I got it way back in
It's like
2011.
I don't
So
care. Yeah, that's what
uh,
my version of Adobe is too. 2011. I think I quit in 2014. When was my last video? I don't remember. I think it was 2014 or 15. Was that How to Train Your Dragon one?
hmm.
That was the last official video, and then I think I did a Met part 2 years ago, and I just haven't bothered to make any more after that. I tried. I have, I think, 20 unfinished projects, where it's like 30 seconds in, and then I just quit. I need to upload those. I just haven't bothered to do it yet.
Well,
I've never seen this level. I'm so mesmerized. I feel like I should be back in the 70s. Not like I've ever been there, but
in the 70s.
no.
This
The first thought that comes to mind while watching you play this level is like 70s.
if I get reminded of any time period looking at this level, which I don't really, but they have some they have like an imitation of an ink blot cartoon, so that would be like 20s and 30s. Yeah, whatever.
Oh,
Screw it.
you lost your bubble.
I did, but
How
I have
big
my
is it?
super.
You're kind of. Oh, what was I? Was that one stream you were playing? Something about being super. Oh yeah, you were scared, so you went to super form, so you were super scared.
Did I say
You
that?
gonna?
I
Yeah.
I, I know like super abuse was the repeated term throughout
Yeah.
that night and the other night because it was a two-part stream.
Yeah.
This is a long game, ladies and gentlemen. Well, long for classic Sonic terms, anyway.
I miss or what was it, Sonic and Knuckles 3 collection? I have that. I don't know if it'll play on this computer though. It's kind of old.
The Sonic and Knuckles collection.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that's from 1997. So
Yeah.
if you're
Let's
on
see. I think
Windows,
we got it in 2003 or 2004, and it worked on XP and Vista. Sure, it probably won't work on my computer, being a Windows 10.
yeah, if you're running on Windows 10, then
Yeah,
good
I have
luck.
to get yeah, I have to get a new game.
Could always
For a
get
second,
a
when that glitched right there, oh, that did say eggnog. Okay. Oh God.
yeah.
Ooh,
I
what
don't know
happens
if
when I have a headache?
I don't know if they did that to be funny or if it's an actual reference to something, but
Oh,
considering
one day we might find out.
considering the deep cut references that are in this game, I wouldn't put it past them to have it as a reference.
Insert Woody Woodpecker laugh. I used to be able to do that when I was little. No joke, I could, and it was perfect, and I can't do it now. Another thing I used to do really well was um, that one lady on Monsters Inc. that had the real gruffy voice.
Ah,
I
her.
could mimic her exactly when I was little. I'm not even gonna try now. I think I would have screwed up my voice for life.
That's me every time I do a voice acting session.
Speaking of which, I need to give you a part of my book to have you read it. I just haven't done any editing to it yet, so it's like, hey, what's the point?
Well, I don't have the really good microphone I'd like to have yet, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just you don't have to
Oh
worry
yeah,
about.
you were talking about that the other day.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna have it for like another few months because my birthday's in May, and that's
Mm-hmm.
probably when I'll be able to get it. But shrug. Um,
I need to get a better mic. I don't even think I have one.
Well, I can hear you, so you definitely have at least something that works.
I think what I meant to say through my stupid brain malfunctioning was I don't have a good mic.
Ah.
Mad Hatter. What are you guys talking about? The Mad Hatter. Who's the hat guy? Oh, okay, never mind. Reading things in the chat.
Hat guy's my friend. He's a dude man. And he actually sent me a message earlier about wanting to join this.
Should let him.
You say let him?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think it'd be fun. Mix it up a little.
Okay. All right. He writes too, so maybe he can provide his insight on here. Just give me a moment, folks. I'm gonna add someone in here.
So we get to watch him bounce and bounce and bounce.
Not perpetually. I did pause.
I think my computer's lagging a little bit.
Oh, Josh, this is a Skype call. We're not on Discord, so I don't know if you're on. It says you're away. There you are. Okay.
He's away, but not far.
He's pretty far from you, actually. He lives in Canada, in like British Columbia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've been that so pretty.
Can you hear us, Josh?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's up?
What's up? What's up, Mr.
Not a whole lot. Just kind of sitting here watching Brandon stream things.
In the ceiling, that's what's up. That was such an old thing. Like, what's up? I don't know, the ceiling.
I remember that from an episode of Teen Titans. That's where I first heard that joke.
I don't know where I first heard that joke, but I have heard the joke.
I don't even remember where I first heard it. I think it was just... I think my brother used to watch Teen Titans. I know he said it. I think I got it from him, and I'm sure he probably got it from the show. Dude, I hate Teen Titans Go. I saw a little preview of that at a restaurant one day. They were playing it. I was like, they ruined it. Teen Titans used to be awesome.
That seemed to be the opinion of most people, but like, I don't know if I saw like the exception episode or something, but like the one that I saw was actually funny. And I was like, why do people hate this? It had the Wonder Twins in it, and they made fun of Zan's stupid water powers. It was great.
Mm.
But Aquaman, you can't marry a woman without gills. You're from two different worlds.
Is that a reference to? Oh no, wait, no. In Brave and the Bold, he already had a wife, so I don't know if you're referencing anything in particular.
It's from The Simpsons.
Oh.
Yes.
I've never seen The Simpsons. I've never seen The Simpsons or South Park.
Really?
I feel like I'm missing out on something. Yes, really. My brother watches it, and he says it's hilarious and that they don't hold back on anything. I'll just take him at his word for it.
What, in South Park?
Yeah.
They really like their ability to talk about fucking anything.
Anything and everything. And everyone's a target.
Let me tell you, they put it to good use. It's a show basically made to piss everyone off.
You go get them balls.
I guess that could... Oh, go on.
This used to say "get blue balls" rather than "get blue spheres." The old original one did.
Mm-hmm.
And then they changed it for localization.
Wow, I fucking walked right into that one. How stupid of me. I did press the button, but it was far too late. But yeah, like the Japanese developers, they put that in, and their American counterparts were like, "Hey, this means something different in English."
uh,
Well, I mean, theoretically, it means the same thing. There's just also a term for it.
Right.
Everyone's got their own jargon.
Oh yeah, the whole thing about what's up the sky had me wanting to ask a question, and then we devolved into a conversation about Teen Titans Go and
Hey,
Aquaman,
man,
and
I devolve into a lot of things.
uh, but my question, also writing related. You know, this was supposed to be mainly a I don't want to say a seminar, but just like a little discussion panel thing about writing. But again, back on topic.
Sure.
Favorite and least favorite cliche. Go.
Oh God. Okay, let's see. Least favorite cliche. Oh, would have to be the whole vampires versus werewolves. It's like, we get it. They hate each other. Let's move on to a different storyline now, please.
Yeah, I think like most sensible people back in the day, I hated Twilight too.
I've
Oh, yeah.
literally never heard a vampires versus werewolves story.
Really? They're like they always want to kill each other. It's like they can never actually get along.
I mean, I know of the rivalry between them, but I've never
Oh.
read a story with them.
Oh. Really?
I was way off on that hit. Oh god. Thrown myself off my own groove. Anyway.
Like throwing yourself off a cliff. Oh, dude.
Yeah, it was
5 rings.
oh
29
well,
degrees and raining? Jeez, that's cold.
very cold.
Okay, anyway, what was the topic again? I forgot.
Cliches.
Favorite, least favorite.
Oh,
right
yeah,
now.
cliches.
Egg
Let's see,
TV.
I think Egg TV. Well, I think favorite cliche. I guess the favorite cliche would have to be the chosen one trope done right. How you define right? That is up to the reader.
Well, then what is it to you?
Yeah, what would be your like go-to example of the chosen one done right?
I guess when he's a little more relatable in the fact that he's not perfect or what am I searching for? He struggles morally, not just, I'm the chosen one. I have to go out and defeat the Dark Lord. And no, I want to see some kind of struggle, because even in real life, people who are morally incorruptible still have struggles. So that's something I think is would be the chosen one done right.
So basically, the opposite of Rey from the new Star Wars movies. Which
yeah, which I've never seen it, so I can't really comment.
okay, well, wow, that was a really dumbass decision from me. You'll see it in a moment. So basically, they introduced this new character. They like made a big deal about it. We want our main character in the new trilogy to be a woman. So they celebrate this occasion by writing her very poorly because she already fucking knows everything. Like she'll see like
Also, like she's a Mary Sue.
yeah, I don't know why it's lagging. Why is it lagging? This shouldn't be. Do it. The window has gone inactive. Uh-oh. Game?
Uh-oh.
Oh, there we are.
Oh, did you just like freeze, I guess?
Yeah, it froze. Sometimes that happens because my computer likes switching windows for some reason, and I legit don't know what the problem is. It'll just do that randomly. And
That sounds strange. That sounds like you got a thing to look at.
I legit wouldn't know where to start though. But basically, in my opinion, in the new Star Wars movies, Rey, she'll like look at someone do something. Like for example, like she was getting trained by Luke Skywalker or some shit, and she looked at him do something, and then immediately knew how to do it. That's not
Oh,
that's not like good
oh,
character growth. That's disgusting.
no,
That's
that's
the
what they did
robot
in
from Sonic Battle.
that's what they did in the Legend of Korra series. I thought because it's like that series really just kind of got under my skin and ticked me off. Because like, see, in the first Avatar series, the opposite of air was earth, and that's what Aang struggled with, right? But in Legend of Korra, no, it was what was it? Oh yeah, air, because that was the opposite of her personality. So they went completely against their whole plot, and yeah,
Wow.
I could go on and on about that. I actually think I wrote a little review of it on my DeviantArt page a while back after I finally finished the series. But Korra, her character just really annoyed me. I don't know why. She just got under my skin. It's like, you're annoying.
Love the little inflection on that. But yeah, like to be fair, I haven't like fully watched those Star Wars movies, but when I read about them,
Mm-hmm.
like in the plots and stuff, it's just like their new characters that they're trying to make are just they don't execute it very well. They don't know how to make
No.
characters or like really write a kind of struggle. Like when that's your main
Mm-hmm.
character and they just know how to do something upon seeing it once, you know?
Yes.
It's like fucking come on.
Or like, I think that's pretty much how Zahir was on Legend of Korra 2. Was she is struggling with air, the avatar of all people, struggling with airbending, and here he is a newfound airbender, and he can master it like right away. That drove me absolutely nuts.
Oof. Oof, I say.
Oof. Spikes. Hit that turtle.
As far as a favorite cliche, maybe I shouldn't have asked the question because I can't immediately think of a favorite. Um, yeah, I don't know.
You
um,
don't know.
I'll have to think of it. Uh, oh goodness, that's gonna bother me now. Why did I ask the question if I can't come
That's
up with
gonna
an
give me nightmares
answer?
now.
Oh, it's definitely gonna give me nightmares.
Stay awake for hours. What did I mean by this question?
No, I know
I've
what I
done
meant.
that.
I just shouldn't have. Just should not have asked the question without knowing my own answer.
All right, well, here's my answer. It's like a middle ground. I'm not sure how I feel about kids being able to solve mysteries that adults can't solve.
Exactly.
I don't know. It depends on the kind of work that you're doing. Like if you're gonna do like a completely serious work, you've got to make it like really good. Like
Mm-hmm.
God, I don't remember much about the Spielberg movie Super 8, but that seemed to be like a group of kids solve some kind of mystery about aliens or something, and I thought that was a pretty good movie. Or if it's something comedic, like Kirby right back at you, like how all the adults are fucking morons in Cappy Town, and like there's only one smart person really, or like one or two, and one of them's a kid, you know.
Mm-hmm.
If it's
It
supposed to
always kind of
be,
drives me nuts when they
it's
make the adults dumber than the kids.
yeah, if it's supposed to be funny, I can handle that, if the adults are dumber than the kids. South Park too. Come to think of it.
Mm-hmm. I've never seen South Park, so I have no comment there.
Well, it's like the same sort of deal. Like the kids are the only ones that really know how to actually solve the problems.
Yeah. This is what? No, I'm claustrophobic? What? Reading some of these comments.
Ah, man, I should have gotten that life. Not that I'm short on lives or anything.
No, even though you, lost 4 of them the last half hour?
Yeah, had a pretty embarrassing beginning game, but I think I've done fairly well since.
Mm-hmm. I need more games. The only game I ever play anymore, it seems, is Skyrim. And that's on my 360. And yes, I still have a 360 because I'm too cheap to get anything else.
Well, I mean,
mean,
there's not really many games on Xbox One.
Oh, really? Well, I guess I could get like a PS4, but my brother has one, and he's got, I don't know how many games on there. I just haven't bothered to get myself one. I just don't play it enough to really care.
Don't shame yourself for owning an old system. I have a 360 too, and you know what? I'm happy with it. I love my 360.
Mm-hmm.
It's given me good memories.
Chicken is like, what's up? Smack.
Now, those little pea shooters are actually a lot more fucking annoying than they have any right to be.
They weren't in the original Sonic and Knuckles 3, were they? I don't remember them.
They were in Sonic 2.
Oh, okay.
And this active flying battery is supposed to be like a sort of a mix between Flying Battery and Wing Fortress Zone from Sonic 2. So
Oh,
okay, I'm just gonna fucking ignore the cluckers.
I don't think I've played a Sonic game since let's see, I kind of quit enjoying the series when Sonic Colors came out, just because the plot really got under my skin. I couldn't get over it.
Oh, did it?
It
Interesting.
was like Sonic Unleashed came out, and I loved that storyline. I mean, Chip, yeah, I kind of thought he was a little bit annoying, and I think they could have done better with a Dark Sonic instead of the Werehog. But I like the plot. And then Sonic Colors comes out, and it's like a complete 180. I couldn't get over the unfunny humor.
See, we differ a bit there. I'll agree with you fully on Unleashed plot. Like, I think I give it a little more slack than you do because, in my personal opinion, Unleashed is like story writing in Sonic the Hedgehog done perfectly. It was lighthearted when it needed to be,
Yes.
serious when it needed to be. It just hit all the right notes for me. I thought
Yeah.
Chip's character arc was really good, but as far as like like in terms of Colors, I thought the story of Colors was good in my opinion, and though that was like the only fucking hit that those writers had for me. Not that Generations was bad, but it was just empty. It was a story with a beginning and an end and no middle, and I died again.
Yeah.
And then Lost World was just bad. But as far as Colors goes, like they were obviously going for a Saturday morning cartoon kind of feel, and I think they did a pretty good job of getting that across in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I just didn't. It's like there was only one line. I think it was something Eggman said in Sonic Colors that I laughed at, and then the rest of it was just kind of like, I'm not happy at all. And that just kind of ruined the game series for me. And I think that's actually where my book was inspired. And a lot of people were like, I don't like you now because you don't like Sonic Colors. And I'm like, wait, what? That's your reason for not wanting to watch my videos anymore? Okay.
But bruh, I made all your favorite music videos. Where are you gonna get those now?
It kind of ended in a way that it led me to believe that I was just people liked me because I was a good fan, and everything else was just kind of meh. And I was even told by someone, "You need to not edit to anything but Sonic." It's like, I can't do that all the time. I'm gonna get bored. You don't want me to get bored, do you?
Yeah,
Kill the spider.
like you were probably dealing with a bunch of teenagers though, and I think at that point you would have been in your like your late teens, early 20s?
It'd be late teens. I think, yeah, it was the new wave of YouTubers that came in. And I was just like, I'm done. Like, it was fun while it lasted, but I'm done now. Plus, it gave me time to focus on my own story, which I've had a lot of fun building that. It's been, what, 8? No, 7? When was it? See, 2010 was when I came up with the idea, and I started writing in 2011. So, yeah, 8 years. Been building it in my head.
You've been working on that story for that long?
Yep.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
And again, having to go through all that. Oh, hit myself like a moron. And I imagine all that publisher BS you had to go through was partly a contributing factor.
Well, that was for the children's book. I was stupid. I knew I shouldn't have done it, but I went with a vanity press because I was so sick of getting rejections. I only got like 15 rejections. And in the publishing world, that's like minuscule. So I went with Tape Publishing. And 6 months later, I was just at the point where I had to submit a questionnaire to get artwork done. And it was like, let's see, a couple weeks after that, they closed their doors. Ooh. And not only did they close their doors, they lied to their authors and said that they were in a transition process. So we got a double whammy. 30,000 plus authors got screwed out of their money.
Well, it might not have been a lie from the beginning. Like, they might have tried to open up a new headquarters somewhere or something, but
they did try. But the only reason they did was because they were they ended up getting arrested for racketeering and fraud and embezzlement. Well. So they were banking authors' money that they were pulling off their books and only giving authors like 33 cents of the royalties.
Can I just interject for a moment here?
Sure.
Because when Josh started offering explanations, just internally I was like, oh shit. It's gonna get real between the author and the business major.
I'd like to make it clear then that I'm not picking a side.
Oh no, that's fine.
No, I knew you were just being friendly.
Yeah, I don't mind if a vanity press is going to run themselves right. Then, by all means, go ahead. But if they're going to, start sneaking money under the table and use it for their own personal gain, and then not even pay their authors that they promised them to pay, then that rubs me the wrong way.
Question in the chat says, "What's your favorite poem you've written?"
I've only written one poem in my life. That was when I was in 4-H. I think I was only 13 years old, and it was about wild horses.
Wild horses?
I didn't like the poem, but I ended up getting a 8th place in the district. So it got published in a little 4-H kid book. So I didn't realize it was a good thing. It was just there to me. So, yeah.
Well, you may not have liked poems all that much, but at least you like horses.
I still like horses. I've always liked horses since I was 5.
Horses are fucking cool. Like they're badass.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you get one that loves its job, dude. It's so much fun.
Crap. What was that going to lead me into? This last topic of discussion.
Did you have a write a poem?
The studio closing, or?
No, in terms of poems,
Oh.
I don't think I've ever written one. To answer the audience member's question, not for like a school project or anything of the sort. I cannot think of any instance. I don't think I would write one casually, because that's just not my thing. I just like writing dumbass comedy videos.
I like writing beginnings to things. I don't know. I can't process things after I write the beginnings of things most times.
So it's the beginning, and then everything else is just like, nah.
Well, no, it's because I have an idea for a thing, and then I'm like, man, that's a cool idea. So I write the beginning of the idea, and then I'm like, well, I'm not sure how to think about going with that.
Oh.
Well, think of it this way, Josh. At least we came up with that fucking horrific thing from beginning to end. That, oof, I don't even know if I should talk about it on stream.
You're talking about the flip side.
Yes.
Yes, we did come up with that.
It
That's
was
where I'll leave that, I guess.
It was a full story arc, and that's pretty much all I'm gonna say, because it was a very big departure from my usual kind of thing. It was a horror, and yeah, let's just leave it at that.
Can you hit those and still get points? Or the signs that come down?
Oh yeah, the signs still give you points if I'm not mistaken.
That's a good one.
I'm sorry, what was it?
Oh, just reading the comments. I wrote a poem about how much I hate poetry.
Oh. Was it a good one?
Oh, but on the flip side, with that one publisher, they've been arrested. I'm happy. I don't care about them anymore.
And then the figurehead of the studio has been arrested, or was it just a one-man show?
It was the father and son. They were the ones who operated the publishing house, and they were the ones embezzling money.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but they're all done and over with, and I'm actually happy that it got me out of that contract, because I actually got a better one. And let's see, my children's book is going to be released. What did I say? August 30th of this year. So yay.
Nice.
And I don't have to pay anything to get it published, which is actually how a publishing house is supposed to operate.
So, what was your children's? Screwed up that blue sphere. But whatever. What was your children's book? Is it the story that you have the website for, or is it something else?
Yeah, it's that one. I think I sent you failed. Anyway, I think I sent you the mock-up cover that I had made for it. I'm not sure.
You certainly did.
And, okay. Yeah, it'd be that one.
And
they may use that cover, the new publisher I have, which I hope they do, because I love it, but I'm sure they'll come up with a pretty good cover too.
It looked very nice from what I saw, and you are the guest here, and well, so is Josh.
I'm a ghost.
So if you want to plug the story, you're very welcome to do so.
Plug? That is a term I'm not familiar with.
That just means to advertise it.
Oh.
If you wanna.
Well, see, it's still 6 months out, so it's kind of one of those where
you got to create hype somehow.
Yeah, but I don't think any of the people here are like 6 to 8. Although I am working on that young adult novel. that I'm pretty sure they'll like. That's actually a pretty fun project to work on. I'm gonna be sad when that's over.
But
you also write fan fiction. I like fan fiction. Fan fiction's fun. I actually attached my book to a fan fiction until I decided, nope.
The thing you're kind of like forgetting here, though, about your story being for younger audiences is that I'm playing a fucking Sonic the Hedgehog game on stream right now.
True. True.
God damn it! What am I supposed to be doing here? Okay, obviously I need to be going on these platforms. Oh, I see. Yes, this makes sense.
Yes. Makes lots of sense.
So much sense that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
What? Dude, you just fucking ran right into the slope. That was weird.
Oh, fuck. This guy.
I love those ice cubes. It just sucks them right in. That's hilarious.
Yeah. I shouldn't be having this much trouble with this guy, but
you are.
Yeah,
you have no range, dude. Don't die.
Well, it's too late for that.
Dude. Oh. My computer has some lag.
Yeah, it seems like you're a little further away than the usual co-host is, but that's perfectly okay. Again, it's not really.
It's probably my Internet Explorer.
It's not really supposed to be about the game here today, as I've repeatedly said. So just yeah. I suppose in terms of video editing, like you were telling me how you can do some really cool shit in After Effects that like because like I haven't done terribly complicated video editing yet. I might soon for stuff that I had planned, but I'm not entirely sure yet. I mean I definitely want to learn and get more into the complicated shit, but you know. Like how
Huh?
I'm trying to like come up with an appropriate question about like the more complicated kinds of editing, like effects and whatnot, but it's not. Like a cohesive question is not coming to me, so I'm just like stumped for something.
Sim says that she would have liked to be a part of this stream as well. She writes too.
Hey, why not?
Oh well, this is Skype, and as far as I know, Simp is not on Skype, and I kind of have a thing about like I kind of have like a 3-person limit.
Oh.
Because you know, four gets to the point where it's like kind of starting to get like a clusterfuck, and I don't want everybody talking over each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She can take my spot if she's available.
But she's not on Skype. That's the thing. And Sonic Storm here is only on Skype. So.
I'm sad. Actually, I got a Twitter account today.
Oh,
I graduated.
You made one just today?
Yeah.
We've got.
That's what I spent my day doing.
We've got to give her Twitter account happy birthday, everybody! Happy birthday, Twitter!
So what? It's like Frosty the Snowman. She gets a birthday the day she's born, and.
Well, I mean that's the whole point of birthdays, Josh.
And I get to go live in the North Pole with Santa.
That'd be great.
You can drink all the hot chocolate you want, and eggnog, and cookies and milk.
Just assuming that he doesn't think that humans are up to doing elves' work, right?
Yeah.
You could just like chill with Santa all the time. It'd be lovely. What an experience that would be, living in the North Pole.
She's on Skype. She said that she's on Skype.
Oh. Huh. I didn't know that, Sim.
Who's calling me? No! Why? You call now? Of all the... Never mind. Just Go away.
Is your cat trolling?
That was a
No,
very
someone's
quick
trying.
flip. That was a quick
Someone's
flip.
trying to call me.
Why have you called me? Never mind.
No, it's one of my friends is trying to call me, probably to say, "Hey, I'm going to Branham Saturday. You want to come?" Sure, I gotta go pick up my check anyway.
Ah.
We're supposed to get my horse ready to run at the finals there this Saturday, but she ended up with
You have a horse?
I
That's
have 12.
fantastic.
No, she's got a fuck ton of animals. Josh, this is a lady who lives on a farm. She's got.
And trains horses. That's going to be my job as soon as the dairy's done.
What about the author? What about the children's book?
Yeah, I do that too. I have a complicated world.
Yeah. Okay,
It's
so both of
epic
them are your
fantasy
job.
and horses and a dairy farm. 3 things that don't normally go together, but they are in my world.
The world was like, no, you can only choose one, and then you were like, fuck you, I have a horse. Let me choose my own destiny.
Mm-hmm.
And the horse was
Ooh,
like,
crazy face.
then the horse was like, I'll kick your ass if you say no. So
The horse said nay, but we all assumed that to mean yes. So
She's funny because when she doesn't want, or when she wants her winter break, she will continue to run away from you in the pasture. But when she's ready to start showing again, she'll stand there and let you catch her. She is hilarious. You got through Act 1.
And
Woo!
when there's any intruders, she'll sneak up behind them and use her horse kick, and it's glorious.
One of my horses would. Mia, on the other hand, the one that I normally ride, or the one that's on the that picture that you sent, or I sent you yesterday.
Yeah.
She'll just stand there with her head up as high as she can get it, looking like a scared guppy.
Huh.
She likes her crazy looks.
I thought horses were pretty universally like, yeah, if you bother me, I'm kicking the fuck out of you.
It depends how they're trained. They shouldn't want to think that way. And if they do, you have to let them know, I'm bigger.
Well, I mean, if someone's deliberately like, being a dickbag to a horse,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, then I said the horse has every right to go and say, no more. And they do that. There's a limit. The horses will not put up with it. I see it too often.
I see. That's one of the that's one of the things that makes horses badass, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
They don't fuck around. Sometimes you'll get a dog that fucks around, right? Cats are only really out for themselves, so
But they don't take up with crap either, or put up with crap.
No, they don't. But well, I suppose horses aren't terribly loyal creatures, in terms of, at least from what I understand about them, which isn't very much. So maybe I should just shut up.
But they are and they aren't. I mean, if they know a new person's on their back, they're going to test them. If they know it's the person that, is on them all the time, then socks go away. Then they just don't mess with them because they know what to expect.
And so horses have like a sort of familiarity recognition, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't just.
That looks like a thing of slime you ran into.
I'm sorry?
What? Oh, just on the game, you hit this little green thing. It looks like slime. What do you want? I hear ya. Ow, wow, wow.
The world hears that, kitty.
well,
Soft.
I mean, the world if the world was 11 people.
No, obviously we have some worldwide representation here. We've got one person, at least from every country in the world out here. Even though, what am I doing?
Something.
It just kind
You're
of
dying is what you're doing.
it turned me around for no reason.
You turned it all around on me. I'm cool. I have pizzazz.
Oof. I really need to
I
start.
remember days when I was cool. They were fun. They were lonely because people didn't want to talk to me because they were scared.
People don't want to talk to me now.
They got a damn good reason to be scared of you. You got a horse.
I got 12.
Yeah, that's fucking cool though.
One of them's a stallion.
Shuck yeah.
Mm. He's little though. He's like only 14 hands tall, 14-1. What? I know. You want on my lap. Ow.
Oh
what
my.
happens when you go on my lap? So vocal.
So I'd like to pay respects to our headphone users who have mysteriously died on their computer desks just then.
Yeah, me being one of them, that was very, very loud. Your cat's quite expressive. I'll say that.
Did she scream into it?
Oh yeah, she was like, I don't know where the point of your microphone is, but she was like, it sounded like she had it inside of her
Oh.
lungs or something.
Yeah, I have one of those earbuds that has the mic on it.
Right. Okay. And
Yeah, and she was on my lap and she was right at that mic. So that's probably what it was.
probably.
I hear those things are notoriously flimsy, the earbuds with the mics on them.
They are. I mean, the first one I had, it lasted forever, and then the last two that I've gotten, I think they've only lasted like a year or so. But of course, I take them into the parlor while I'm milking, so they get kind of wet. So they have a tendency to die.
Gotta get yourself a nice headset like I have and like Josh has for the computer.
I'm not gonna take that into the parlor. No, God no.
That's why I said for the
I
computer.
Yeah, I did have a really nice headset for the computer when I was video editing, and they died recently. I'm sad. It was a nice Bose headset, but they were like 12 years old. So I think I got them back in no, they'd be 10 years old. Yeah, because I got them in 2008 when I got my new computer, and they were awesome. I could hear every little beat, and that was probably a bad thing because I think in some videos I went a little too crazy with effects because I followed too many beats. But it was fun.
And damn.
You're gonna die.
I'm not gonna
It'll be
die,
all
don't
right.
worry. I've beat this boss enough to know that
The spike wall basically rigs it so you can't die, ironically.
Yeah, like none of the rings will phase through it, so it's like you're pretty safe if you lose your rings because you can just use your invincibility frames to hug it for a second, get all your rings back, and then
Oh.
So music videos were your thing, when you were video editing.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh. Go away, Betty. I think. Let's see.
Welcome to Hydrosity.
I think it was 2007 was when I started video editing. That feels like forever. Jeez, it makes me feel old.
It's like forever and yesterday ago for me at the same time. It's weird.
Yeah.
Is it? In what way is it forever for you?
Because I don't know. It just depends on the situation. When I think back to something in 2007, I'm like, oh man, that feels like it was so long ago. But like, I guess it depends on the memory. Because I'll think of something else and be like, oh man, that feels like it just happened yesterday. You know, like how the old how the old saying goes.
Yeah, but my very first account on YouTube was SonicStorm2 and I think I had 3 slideshow videos. Those are my first ever videos, and I think the first video that I created was a slideshow of Sonic and Chris to the song "Photograph" by Nickelback. I can kind of remember. I can kind of remember every picture that I used, because for the longest time, when I was still trying to figure out how to put music to what I had created, I had to memorize it in my head over and over. So whenever I hear that song play on the radio, the video just played in my head. It was pathetic. I wish I could get those old videos back, but they got deleted when YouTube banned my first account. Then I made the SonicStorm12 account, and then that got banned a few years after I made it, but I was able to get it back. So yay! But if it goes, or if YouTube deletes it again, I'm probably just gonna let it stay. Bye bye.
YouTube's gotten much more tolerant of people using copyrighted music in the things, because they made deals with record labels.
I noticed that, because I got a notice one day saying that one of my videos was taken down and I got a strike. And then I think it was 6 months later, as long as I didn't have a new strike within 6 months, then that strike would have been removed. And it was. So I was like, okay.
And then they instituted the copyright ID thing so that it wouldn't give
content ID.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that it wouldn't give you strikes.
Oh, okay.
But it would be like a match. It would be like pretty much the same thing. They put a claim on it, but they don't punish your channel necessarily.
Yeah.
It's more so that the owners of the song or video or whatever it is get to monetize the video themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so behind on YouTube anymore, because all I ever do there is just listen to music, and if I like a song, I'm going to save it to my favorite so I can go back to it later.
Brandon has a water songs playlist.
Yeah, but it's not like I uploaded those songs, though. Those are all videos that I just looked up on the site.
You keep losing your rings. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I know I do.
Yeah, you should be ashamed of yourself, Dad.
Dad.
Desperately hoping that Josh's dad walks into his room and goes, "You challenging me, boy?"
Locked. I have mine locked so no one can. Because I always do is like knock on the door. I'm like, yeah. And they just walk in. It's like, that was not an invitation. Wheel, go up. Let the thing jump up there. You can do it. Go. Thank you. Jeez.
What a nosy kitty.
Very nosy.
We're putting on a production here.
She could be a good voice actor.
Yeah, she'll play the part of
Garfield.
I was gonna like give a really stupid name like Miss Stuffykins or something.
Well, listen, if you're gonna be if she's gonna be Garfield, you have to analyze how they feel about Mondays.
This is the new direction that we're taking Garfield in for the 1990s. Garfield's gonna hate Tuesdays now.
Dude, can you imagine if for one episode of one cartoon he just said that he hated Tuesdays so that everybody was like, the fuck?
They probably have done a variation on that, to be honest, in some Garfield production. Or even in maybe one of the comics.
Oh, I've got to ask, what is your favorite movie that you've, or not movie, your favorite video that you've ever made?
Oh, you know what? That was going to be my question to you after all that. And I was going to be like, was it a music video or was it something that maybe is a little less known, like a school project
Taylor, good
or
to see you.
anything
It's the best
like that?
boss.
Hey, Rabbit. Yeah, so you were the one who actually asked the question, so I'll actually answer. My favorite video that I've ever made. Um, goodness. I think back to the editing process, I can't really think of a favorite based on how the videos turned out, but
Mm-hmm.
I seem to remember having a really good time when I was editing the playthrough of Sonic 1 for the Super Chaos Comms channel, and it was just like, you know, it was a chill time at the early morning in the early morning hours at my grandma's house, just chilling with my Sony Vegas and the footage, and I was like learning how to edit out deaths and stuff. It was it was a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So at least in terms of fun editing, that's what I think too.
Yeah.
See, fun editing is a bit of an oxymoron to me.
You don't like editing?
I don't like editing.
Ah,
Really? Well, I can't say much anymore because I don't care to edit. I just don't have the motivation, but I still love it. I just wish I had the want to edit to what I have in terms of media. But I think it's mostly the media that I have trouble with. Because
Well,
I
I,
still think
I'm
of music videos
oh,
in my head with my or scenes from my book, but I can't do any other media.
right.
I can
I
understand him in a sense, because as much as I like video editing, I hate the shit out of audio editing. Continue.
Yeah.
I'm fine with recording stuff, but then like having to cut out. Well, I can cut stuff out, but like having to do more to it is always like a chore to me.
Hmm.
I can do green screen stuff because green screen stuff's easy, but I don't know. All the like super high technical stuff is weird to me.
Oh, I love the more technical it is, the more I love it.
That's pretty much been my thing since I started getting interested in recording gameplay. Stuff like, oh, this is bitrate. This is what I need to keep a track of in order to retain quality in a video. Stuff like that.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I suck at the bitrate and trying to record things on a screen. I I got a capture card and I posted some of my gameplays on my YouTube channel, but I never could figure it out for really good quality, so I just gave up.
Yeah, like I did a fuck ton of research on like how to work with capture cards and stuff.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, I still don't have like an HD TV, so I of course
Is
don't
that your
have.
way? Is that your way of giving us the finger? I'm pretty sure somebody in there just said to make the finger.
What?
I don't understand, Josh.
They said somebody make an okay sign and then put down your ring and pinky. I'm pretty sure that's just the middle finger.
Oh yeah, okay. I know exactly what you're talking about because they said the same thing to me on Discord, and yep, that definitely makes you flip the bird. Um,
uh,
but like in terms of capture cards and stuff, I that's something I had a really fun time learning about too.
hmm.
Just like stuff about the different types of interfaces for like video signals and whatnot. Like learning the difference, what makes, for example, YPBPR component different from HDMI and whatnot. That's shit that
Hmm.
interests me.
Yeah.
I don't know anything of what you just said.
I understand a little bit of it just because I kind of dabbled with some of that, but it's still kind of foreign to me.
Well, yeah, it's both Josh and our mutual friend Rabbit never learned how to connect their game systems to their TVs back when they were younger.
Really?
No, so they don't really know the whole connectors thing.
So that sounded a little patronizing.
Oh, I didn't mean for it to be.
It's just words.
Let's clarify here. If you in the audience are also unsure of oh man, that was a little oh, that's bad. Ooh. I guess I deserved it for what I was saying to people apparently. But no, it's nothing to be ashamed of is basically what I'm saying. It doesn't make you a super genius to know how to set up your TV. It's nothing to brag about.
Unless you finally figured out how to set up your TV, then you're gonna feel like a genius. Like I did when I first learned or got my TV. I was like, oh, I'm smart. Nah, it's just I gained a new brain cell and then lost a couple of playing the games.
In before the final boss form of DKC2 hops in here out of nowhere.
Oh. Is that something Rabbit said?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I beat Donkey Kong Country 2 earlier today, as I had mentioned when I was playing Green Hill, and oh my god, that fucking final boss. Like, it's like what I told Rabbit and Josh when I was playing it. It's a fair boss. And you know, in hindsight, I can say I do like it, right? But holy shit, Rare, making it so difficult. I had to fight him over 20 times, and I fucking beat him.
Did you did you count? Was it 20?
It was like 20 something because I started off like when I got in there, my lives were in the 30s, and then I finished with 13.
Oh
So
yeah, I guess that would count for you, wouldn't it?
yeah,
Bunnies.
bunnies are a good thing. But yeah,
I am so behind on this video.
it's
Or your
okay.
gameplay.
Again, even though we seemingly only seem to be paying attention to the game, it's not supposed to be about the game.
I like that Tails is wearing his pilot hat.
Oh yeah. That
I'm
was a
gonna
really good
refresh the page
reference
so you forget.
to the OVA. I give them props, but they lose a little bit of points for not having Knuckles in a cowboy hat.
They do, absolutely. That's actually a mod, I think, to have Knuckles be in his cowboy hat that you can put in.
Faux
They should have him in
show.
his cowboy hat anyway. Rage fit.
So I guess I'll get to the second half of the thing we were talking about earlier then. So like my favorite video in terms of editing experience was my original Sonic 1 playthrough. So what would yours be? If you can like remember, it seemed to be that that one music video from what you were saying that you had like a bunch of nostalgia for, but
Oh,
who knows?
Deception.
Um,
I think.
I thought it was the photograph one because you had a whole story about
Oh,
that.
yeah. Well, that one was just because it was my very first video that I ever made. But let's see. I think my favorite video that I made, which is kind of like, I think it should have more views than it has. I think it's got like 30,000 views, which is still pretty good, but would have to be my Relentless Heart video, because that one, the opening, that was the most fun I ever had creating an intro, or just the opening to the first song, not the introduction that I made prior to the music video, but it was a lot of fun, and just working on it, I had the feels, and I think that, you know, being able to feel the project, not just make one, I think really helps in how people are going to react to it.
Yeah, see, that's like that's similar to what I was saying. It was just like,
Mm-hmm.
um, I don't know if it's exactly, but my thing about that Sonic 1 playthrough is that I really felt like I was putting a good amount of effort into making it. And so I was
Yeah.
proud of it.
Mhm.
And I guess that's what you were feeling then, yeah?
Yeah, because I think that was my fourth video on Adobe that I made. The first one I made, nah, it was good. I made it a lot harder than it should have been because I just didn't know how to use the program back then. So it
Right.
was like trying to do all these backdoor things are just so much harder than the actual thing was. Like panning, it's such an easy thing in Adobe because you just hit the keyframe button, move the picture, hit the keyframe button, you're done. But no, I took like a 2-hour process just to do a 5-second, you know, panning session. So it was, I think that project took 2 months to make, and my Relentless Heart video only took a month. And for it being only my fifth or fourth or whatever video it was for Adobe, I thought it was pretty good, and it's still my favorite to this day.
Yeah. That kind of made me start thinking about it's kind of silly, but I still somewhat have problems with zooming in Vegas because I can never get
Yeah.
it right the first time.
Well, it's just the track motion.
Right. But it's I don't know. It just seems whenever I do it the first time, there will always be like an extra little frame in there that makes the image zoom back out, and then I just kind of wonder what I did wrong, and I correct it, but
Well, if you correct it, then you know what you did wrong.
well, right, but I would like to be able to get it right on the first try is my point. And so far through the only 2 times I've zoomed in Vegas, I have not been able to achieve that.
I can't help with Vegas because I don't use it. I use Adobe. Adobe is super easy. You just go to scale, hit keyframe, move the picture again, hit keyframe, done.
It's
Or
like
just activate
It's
keyframe.
basically exactly like that on
Yeah.
Vegas, but it's the track motion button.
Mm-hmm.
you go to like you right click it, and then it's like event pan and crop, and then like you use the cropping tool, but like if you put a keyframe on and like crop the picture, or like say you want the full screen as the first frame of your zoom, right?
Mm-hmm.
You keyframe that, and then you crop it to where you want to zoom it to, and then make that the last keyframe, and then boom, you have a zoom, which rhymes.
The boom zoom. The boom zoom the doom.
Kasploom. I don't even know what
Cat
I'm
chasing your
saying.
tail on the shelf. If you guys hear scuffling, that's my cat.
I had a feeling.
She's just running in circles going after her tail. I'm waiting for that shelf to fall off.
Ooh,
She does it all the time. She just pushes it off and goes with it.
the whole shelf, eh?
Mm-hmm. It's not screwed down or anything. It's just a little shelf.
I'm doing a lot better than I thought I would have for only being on 2 hours of sleep.
Only 2 hours?
Yeah, I woke up and I was feeling so horrible when I woke up, and
Oh.
it was like I was feeling really bad when I was going to sleep, and I just kind of knew that I would wake up feeling just as bad, if not a little worse, and then
Mm-hmm.
it happened, but it was like 2 hours later, and I was like, oh, well, I guess I'll just try to stay up, and so far I have.
Oh, water stream. That was kind of neat. I didn't know you could do that in that game.
This level's probably got my favorite set pieces in all of Mania. Like that, the gun launcher is fucking awesome.
Batty, you're starting to drive me nuts. Ooh, the shelf is about to go. She's staring at me with crazy eyes. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Um.
Somebody is asking. They're both fearing for your health. Somebody is asking why you haven't slept for very long.
I don't know. I just woke up at a bad time, and then I had to stay up for a bit, and I was just like, okay, I guess I'll just keep staying up, because I had this stream planned, and I was afraid that I would sleep in like I tend to do, and miss it. So I
Ow.
I really did want to make this stream because I want to talk to the people about writing and all that stuff.
Which we haven't done much about.
Yeah, we haven't done much of it, but just
It's just things keep taking off in other directions, and it's like, oh, we're supposed to do that now?
Well, I'm sorry for intruding on it then. I didn't want to like ruin your big planned thing that you have.
Oh, I don't care.
No, we had ruined it well before
Yeah.
you came in here.
Mm-hmm. And part of that was I had failed to write talking points just because I'm so busy with so many other things, and because the publisher gave me homework to do, so it was like, nails on chalkboard.
Oof.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a suggestion by Miss Sonic Storm here, and
I
I'm
can
not
speak French. Moi.
I'm not gonna
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
oh my I'm not gonna put any blame on her or anything. When you're busy, you're busy. But just without
Sorry,
any
my
talking
fault.
points, it gets a little more difficult than it would be otherwise.
Yeah.
No, I want to go this way. There's a special stage ring there. Okay, whatever, screw it.
Fatty, I had that window open all day, and you did not take one step outside, so do not start whining at me now.
Yeah, it's almost 9 o'clock. It's almost bedtime.
Is it really? Wow.
For me,
It's
it is anyway.
Comment ça va?
It's 9 o'clock here, too, or almost.
Ah,
Oh my god, all these friend requests on Facebook. I swear, I just want to get my friends list up to 5,000 or whatever, just so people stop sending me friend requests.
I don't know.
I tried turning it off and it won't turn off.
Nobody's answering my questions that I've posed in French.
What?
I said,
What
comment
was the
ça va?
question? Oh, I don't know.
I don't know what that means.
It means, how are you?
Oh,
Oh.
I'm doing all right. Maybe you could have asked that in English.
No, well, she said she speaks French.
Just because I said moi.
That was clearly a joke, Josh.
I wanted to test it, just in case.
It was a test. I clearly failed.
You're also a betrayal to your fellow English-speaking Canadians. By the way, just wanted to point that out to you.
That's fine. I'm a betrayal to a lot of people.
Seahorse. Gonna make him flip, so we can flip like a seahorse. Oh.
Seahorses, just as annoying and asshole-ish here as in Sonic 2, and I will debate anyone who says otherwise, because I've gotten a lot of people to tell me that the seahorses aren't annoying in this one, and yes, they fucking are.
Anything that's got spikes is annoying. Anything that's got spikes or shoots at you is annoying.
Oil Ocean in general is just, ooh, why?
Then there's Lava Reef.
Well, Lava Reef is good, though. See, the reason why I'm not too big on Oil Ocean is because, it's bad. I mean, at least that's my opinion, anyway. I'm not claiming to be the be-all, end-all knower of Sonic, Mr. Man.
I used to know a lot about Sonic stuff. I mean, like, I was one of those super nerdy fans.
You were one of those Sonic otakus?
Oh, yeah.
Well, like,
I was one of those annoying fans. You could ask me any question about any episode, and I would know it. Now you can ask me, and I'm like, well, any episode of Sonic X or any kind of game scene, and yeah.
I could spout random trivia like that. It's just as far as like the differences in the programming of the seahorses between Sonic 2 and Sonic Mania is a complete mystery to me.
Mm-hmm. 14,700. You should feel rich.
I should feel rich.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I certainly don't have the money to feel
stats. Rich. I don't either.
Taylor just said, Griffith!
Oh my. I don't know what would inspire him to say that, but
Sonic X, I guess.
But thank you for the call. Oh yeah, Sonic X would that would explain it.
See, I'm in nerd mode again.
If you can explain it before I grab it. Oh well, Sonic, if you just wanted a lesson, I can certainly teach you how this machine works.
Man, wouldn't it be great if they had like a whole like 5-hour session of how the machine works? Just because they started off as a dramatic scene and then it ends with like a 5-hour explanation of how the machines actually perform.
And the Japanese licensors of the show immediately interrogate 4Kids as to why they edited their work so much.
Why did you add 5 hours of new animation?
This is episode 1. Maybe if you had done that to episode 14, that's a throwaway episode.
That's the one where they go on vacation. We all know nothing's going to happen with that one.
Oh, I hated that episode.
I legit don't know what episode 14 is.
The episode where they go on vacation. I can't remember the number of any of the episodes now, except for episode 68. I think that was the Dark Sonic one. Or was that 64?
I'm not sure that's actually what episode 14 of the show is.
You know, it might be because they did like 3 or 4 vacation episodes in a really short amount of time of each other. Because there was episode 9, which was on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was another one where they were also on vacation and like swam underwater for something. I don't fucking remember. And Sonic had that comedically really long breathing tube.
I think that was that one where they're underwater again.
Okay, well, apparently episode 14, they go to an island, so there they go. They're on vacation.
That might be the one I was just talking about. And then episode 20 was on the boat. You know, go back. If you're watching the Japanese version, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
With as good of an actor that Griffith was back then, which is to say, not terribly much, but he was just starting out in acting.
Yeah.
His was probably more like, no, come back.
I do like his shadow voice better than this new guy that's playing him though.
Oh,
I'm not too fond of the.
Kirk Thornton got better like in Forces.
Oh yeah, and I think in what was it? Oh yeah, Unleashed. I thought he did a pretty good job in Unleashed, and then Sonic and the Black Knight. I thought he did a pretty good job in those 2 games, but then of course contract was up.
It was like from Secret Rings to Black Knight. Like that's when the 4Kids actors really came into their own. Aside from, I always thought Griffith was good as Shadow. Like I don't think that he ever had like a bad performance as Shadow. And Mike Pollock as
Shadow the Hedgehog.
Okay, well the writing was bad in that game, but like Jason's performance was as good as it needed to be.
I've never played Shadow the Hedgehog game.
Shadow Android. Am I an android too?
He didn't deliver it that robotically. Come Uh, and how can you fault Jason Griffith in that game when he went, "Damn, not here."
Why are we in Hell Sonic level?
But yeah, the secret rings, like you can hear it, and it's such a contrast to '06, which was a game that came out like two
A
months
year.
before it.
Mm-hmm.
It was like '06. You know, you'd hear Griffith Sonic being like, Elise, you know, like putting like no emotion into it, and then like you hear Secret Rings, and he's like, oh my god, he suddenly became really expressive.
Mm-hmm. I think part of the reason with the '06 was they rushed it just because, the 360 was coming out and they had to get a game to come out with the release of the 360. So they just, yeah.
Well,
At least that's what I
Which
hear.
is the one where they have a voice director that didn't speak English, and then they had to be like, "Yeah, that take was all right."
that was that was every English recording of a Sonic game until Colors,
Yeah,
where they had that might have been part of the reason for the voice acting troubles of many early Sonic games, were like because what they did before was that they would have two directors. One was the English voice director who would say, "I like that line," and then have to ask the Japanese voice director who had the final say. So it was like, okay, I like this line, and then the Japanese voice director would have to say, "I agree," in order for them to use that particular take or whatever.
That seems like a pain.
Yeah. And then for colors, they were just like, okay, we're just gonna have the American voice director because that's a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. I think they changed everything when it came to colors, isn't it? Or didn't they? I know they got rid of all the actors and got new ones aside from Mike Pollock, and then
There were definitely a lot of changes that came around that time period.
mm-hmm.
Uh, the new actors, the tone of the series changed. Basically,
Yeah, I think it was the tone that I just didn't like.
the only thing
Because
that
before,
oh, go on.
I was gonna say before with Sonic Adventures 2, and then Unleashed and Sonic and the Black Knight, I always thought those games were really good and they had really good stories, and I could actually get into the stories because, of course, I'm always more about plot than I am the games, which really takes every gamer off. It's like, it's not about the plot, it's about the games. Like, sorry, not me. But
Yeah, I'm a
once they made the
gameplay
change,
first.
I just couldn't get into their new storylines. It was just like, no.
Yeah, I'm a gameplay first kind of person too, but I'm not gonna act like the story isn't something that should be taken into consideration
Mm-hmm.
if you want to say that a game is good. I mean, obviously
Yeah.
for a lot of earlier games, right? Uh, you can't really look at the writing and be like, oh, what a weak story. Mario has to save the
Yeah.
princess in a game that came out in 1985 when all video game stories were really simplistic like that.
Mario still has
Mm-hmm.
to save the princess.
Well, you know
That's
what? Like,
literally.
and for Mario, simple storytelling is still acceptable because Mario set the standard. Even though I just said
Mm-hmm.
that all video game stories back then were really simple like that, but fuck it, fuck it. Mario's the goddamn man, except for his
Mm-hmm.
brother Luigi, who is more the man.
Well, and then I guess one could say, well, Sonic still has to defeat Eggman, so
Well, he has to defeat Eggman, but it's under like different circumstances.
yeah.
Well, I suppose for the Mario games, it's also under different circumstances, but it's
There are
much
less extreme different circumstances.
right. But yeah, they definitely brought in a change to the tone of the games and the general like writing.
Yeah.
Again, I thought that Colors' writing was good. I like the story of that game. It was perfectly serviceable for what they were going for. but like that was like their only hit.
I care. Taylor says that if it's an adventure or an RPG, then story is important, but he doesn't care about the story of Sonic games. I care about the story of Sonic games a little bit, but ideally, not as much as games like those. Like, if it's a story that interests me, I'll get into it and be like, "Oh, cool! I wonder what the next level will lead into in a cutscene." But like, I don't have as much emphasis on it as most people would.
Right?
Yeah.
I care about a good story too. Um, it really depends on, say, how good is the gameplay. If I can accept a story being bad, like for instance, Shadow the Hedgehog, that's one where like I think the gameplay does just enough to make up for the story, which I can find ironic enjoyment in anyway. Even though it is objectively bad, it's just objectively bad in a way that's really funny.
I
There's
think
a
for me, it's if they're gonna have a story, they better damn well make it a good story. Because then, what's the point in having a story if you're just gonna throw one in there just say, "I've got a story to my game"? And I think that's probably one of or where my head goes when it comes to games that don't quite or their story doesn't quite meet up with their gameplay.
Right.
I think the tipping point for Shadow's story for me is that the game sold itself on the story a little more than previous Sonic games did, or future games do, because Shadow the Hedgehog's story was about Shadow discovering what his past was, which is a
Mm-hmm.
thing that they set up in Sonic Adventure 2. And it billed that as the selling point of the game a little more than the guns, perhaps because the guns were a little risky and shit for a Sonic game. So, the story had a bigger pedestal than it usually does, and it's kind of. So,
Yeah. And I think Shadow's kind of always been more about story too than anything.
Yeah, he definitely had that story arc that spanned across 3 games, including his own, and that was certainly one where you could be like, yeah, the story and whatnot. I always do take it into consideration if I'm gonna say, hey, I like this game, it's good, but yeah, it sometimes, even if it has a bad story, in my opinion, it can still be a good game.
Mm-hmm.
It
I
just
was like,
depends.
I don't know why. I like Sonic and the Black Knight probably the most. I think probably just because of the medieval theme that it had. I like any story that kind of takes place in a medieval setting.
there was a path in Shadow the Hedgehog that you could go down, where Shadow asks Eggman what his past was, and Eggman gives him 3 different answers.
Shadow, don't you realize you have no past? That doesn't
You were.
that doesn't make any sense.
It was, you have no past. You were created by my grandfather, and you're an android that I made. All in the same story path.
What?
It, it,
Created by his father, but an android that he made.
it's Shadow the Hedgehog really did not make like any continuity sort of what am I even trying to say here? Their continuity is all fucked up in the story progression for Shadow the Hedgehog. Because it could be like, exactly what Josh said. It was like, depending on the levels that you choose, you can have one character saying one thing, and then like, you know, uh, later on they'll completely change their tune. It's weird.
Like they had 2 different writers. Or 3.
I'm sorry.
Oh, like they had 2 different writers writing the storyline, or 3.
Like maybe, and they just didn't have them communicate with each other at all.
Yeah.
Either that, or they just all had a middleman who was kind of a troll.
And there's 300 different paths that you can go down, and they all have unique names.
Yeah, that was something they definitely didn't have to do, and I don't envy the person or people who had to do that.
Because you have to come up with a different name for this one path of the story that's only slightly different from this other path of the story, which has a different name entirely.
Those are the things I love to do.
Well,
Just come up with a whole bunch of different names for all these different things, and you get hundreds of names, and it's like, God, where's this end? Never.
I would love it, right? It just as a little
Mhm.
reference that Josh is gonna get. Uh, if at one point in their boredom trying to come up with names, one of the like two of the ones actually that they come up with are the last one for real and sorry we lied.
You missed.
Don't I got this. I got this. Don't worry. Don't worry. Supersonics got this.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the branching path mechanic in Shadow didn't allow for continuity, considering you could go down any path you wanted. But that seems like it seems like a risky venture to take for a game that you're going to sell on mostly the story.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. You had to do it in like a particularly right way, or it was. I mean, you know, it still had the potential to be good, right? But like, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I'm a complete and total failure.
That's where my head's been at all day. It's like, what are words?
Oh, goodness gracious. It's just a mechanic that seems like it would be uh, hard to pull off with continuity, but that's
Yeah.
something you've really got to take into consideration when you want to make that a selling point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, listen, we're going to the Ark, so I guess that means we're going too.
Well, that was just a translation fail. Though I do like your headcanon that immediately before recording that line, you have Jason Griffith just being like, "Is it supposed to be like this?" Sonic was terribly out of character in that game. It was amazing. He was.
Damn,
Oh,
they got away.
Are you talking about the Shadow game?
Yeah, the Shadow game where it was like Sonic was high on crack or something. Because he was really hyperactive in that game.
Uh,
Let's rock and
like,
roll.
like for once, the main character takes a back seat and no one knows how to write him.
It's a great time, to be sure.
I volunteer to play Shadow the Hedgehog for you all, but I don't think it emulates well.
I volunteer as tribute.
It should on Dolphin.
I don't like that movie actually, or the book.
What movie?
Hunger Games.
Oh.
I wasn't too fond of it.
I know pretty much nothing about the Hunger Games, aside from that whole I offer myself thing from the
I
trailer.
volunteer as tribute.
Yeah, because I saw the trailer. I forget what movie it was attached to, but around the time that it came out, I was like, oh man, this looks like something I'm not going to watch.
It was like when Katniss says that line, that to me had some emotion in it, but the rest of the movie just felt like, nah, I'm not feeling your fear.
It's the Hunger Games. I really want a hot dog right now.
You're not thinking about the movie, you're just thinking about how hungry you are.
I want the alternate universe where where the Hunger Games is just like
It's about a hot dog vendor.
it's like the
Battle of the
Hunger
hot dog
Games
vendors.
challenge is that like they get like 8 people into a room, and they just like starve them. Then they put a hot dog on a table in the middle of the room, but the contestants aren't allowed to eat said hot dog. So the first one who eats the hot dog loses,
And it's
and
secretly a poison hot dog, so they die.
that would actually be kind of a. I like that. This needs to be a parody of the goddamn Hunger Games. And
This would be a better movie than The Hunger Games.
I want full writer's credit.
What? You can't. I made the twist. You can't write me out of the twist.
You can't copyright ideas.
You were working directly under me, Josh.
You're his slave now. How do you feel?
I feel violated.
I'm ready for this court case. Let's do this.
Oh, you got poked in the ass. That's how behind I am on this gameplay.
Well, now I'm playing in the background of the level. You'll see that eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Word of the
Taylor
day, eventually.
Taylor can be my lawyer.
Oh boy. Are you sure you would want to do that? Because I mean,
I don't have the money to hire a lawyer anymore.
yeah. It's not that I don't like Rabbit as a person. You know, I think he's a cool guy, but I fear that as a legal defender, he would probably just like spout stories about Seth Rogen and Monkey Dude and just be completely incomprehensible.
It'd be better than acting as my own lawyer. I'd just be like, I say twist, he steal twist. That not good.
So you devolve into a caveman, I see.
Yeah.
A Neanderthal.
He said twist good. He steal twist. My twist.
Be the battle of the twists.
My twist, it my child.
He twisted me.
Oh, suppose that could be another writing question about like twists. Oh, well, never mind. I can't fucking think about one.
I can't either. I'm not really good with twists. I just take or write the story wherever it takes me. I'm a pantser.
So it's pretty much like if I can come up with one, neat, but otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I write the beginning of a thing and the end of a thing at the same time, and then have a hard time figuring out what the middle is to get there.
The only time I can like come up with a twist is if I headcanon some wrestling storyline, because that's the foundation of writing in professional wrestling is a twist, essentially. So
Mm-hmm.
just some kind of thing that the audience wasn't expecting.
Mm-hmm.
Who is your inspiration, and why is it M. Night Shyamalan? Says Taylor.
Oh, well, you see, M. Night Shyamalan is just a guy who made movies in Hollywood, and essentially that's the reason why I like him so much.
Here's my counter question for Taylor. Who is your inspiration, and why is it BoJack Horseman?
Available on Netflix. I'm not sponsored. I'm not good enough to be sponsored. I still haven't seen BoJack.
The comments, F you.
Oh, you know what? Here's a question that I feel like, but either of us, I can't talk, could confidently answer. What is your favorite? Ah, fuck! Why didn't I fucking die? Anyway,
That is my favorite. That one right there.
Like what is your favorite style or genre to write? Because it should be somewhat obvious, especially if you watch my videos from my channel that I like my comedy. But
Comedy.
I played this game.
but you know, I can get into some serious dramatic stuff too. I don't think I've ever published anything like that. Probably never will. But you know, I can at least think of it.
Mhm. Let's see, my favorite genre is high fantasy. I just like the concepts. And then if
That
you do it right, you can have um, your comedy. I really don't care about romance, so I just leave it out there. Comedy, your heartfelt plots, your what am I thinking of now? Because now I'm starting to go brain dead. Oh yeah, your drama, and if you do it right, all of it can really kind of mesh together. And I think that's what I'm trying to do with the novel I'm working on now is making it all kind of coherent. Unlike my brain right now, it's been fried.
so you like writing fantasy stuff the most?
Mm-hmm.
And to Josh, what do you like writing the most?
Cause outwardly I'm a pretty like down to earth and funny man. So I like to write horrifyingly dark and crippling stuff.
Yeah, I feel like we all have that sort of comfort zone when you're writing something. You know, that's why there are like dedicated comedy writers and whatnot. That's the thing. In writing, it seems like there is no kind of typecasting. You just stick with what you know, right? Some actors, they might get stuck playing one particular kind of part, and you know, grow disillusioned with acting. But it's like, no, man, I'm mostly a comedy writer. So that's a good aspect about it, though.
But again, you know,
Yeah.
I only think at the beginning and the end. So I think of the beginning, and then I think of like, oh wow, how could this be awful? And then I'm like, oh, wouldn't it be great if this ended up happening at the end? And then I'm like, that's pretty much it. That's all I got. That's all I got.
You just got to figure out how they get there.
Could I please not
Only.
fucking run into that guy's stupid ass boss
What
buzzsaw?
are you doing? This is horrible.
Trying to get out of there. I mean, I have by now, but
Um,
and now Chibi Sonic.
But yeah, I've thought of some things that are probably a little bit over the dramatic area that your viewership is allowed to have. So
The flip side, for example.
yeah,
God, why did we ever come up with that?
because it's amazing.
It
The
isn't
idea that I
it is, but it's like so fucked up, and no one will ever know. Thank God for it.
You're gonna die.
No, no, I'm not gonna die. I'm gonna make it through this whole act without dying. At least this act.
Now my brain's starting to shut off. It's like, nah. I hate that moment where it's like, you're ready to say something, and then your brain just goes, not today.
Oh, when you're like, yeah, I just I just had that thought, and
Yeah.
it fucking sucks.
what's his name? What's his name? We got nothing on a name. We threw out his name.
No, please. I have a wife and 3 kids.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, we definitely needed some fucking PowerPoints for talking about writing.
My fault.
Is there like one random aspect of it I'll come up with, or that Sonic Storm will come up with, like, you know, every so often, but then like.
Chibi's gonna fight. It's so cute.
I would have enjoyed it if it was also a chibi Eggman.
That would have been funny.
Well,
You get to fight
in
these.
in the boss, it's a Chibi Eggman controlling the thing. Could see, you know, it's a little
Yeah,
tiny.
I know it's a little Eggman in the machines.
You're gonna die.
Right after you said that too.
I love
ultimate
that you were about to say no. You were like, no, shut up, I got it, and then he died.
This is a jinx upon my person.
I win.
Well, I mean, if you're jinxed, then you can't talk until somebody says your name. It's the law.
Brandon. Oh, someone said my name.
Like tips on writing. Stare at the word processor until you think something, then moved again.
Start the word processor.
Then think of nothing and just start watching YouTube videos out of frustration. Exactly. That's what most of writing consists of, just staring at a blank screen and going, what are words?
You get like 30 extra lives. What happened with that?
Oh, well, this is my Sonic Alone save file that I already had 28 lives to start with. I'm doing a new game plus.
I think you were better at this game with Tails. You didn't hardly die.
Yeah, well, he's the one who can fly. He do something.
Oh, well, sacrifice my ring bonus, but who cares? I beat the fucking zone. I'm gonna cry now because I have no ring bonus.
Onward.
Crying!
Crying in my skin. These wounds, they will not heal.
Crying in my skin.
We used to have the song "In the End" memorized. Like, my brother and I would have contests to see who could sing it the fastest. It was hilarious.
Well, you see, one thing, I don't know why, it doesn't even matter how hard you try to remember the lyrics to this song.
You will fail, no matter what.
And to answer any potential questions from the audience, no, I am not a Linkin Park fan.
I mean, so he says.
I like their older music, but I'm not a big fan of their newer stuff.
That was an opinion I once heard from someone.
You did just now, 5 seconds ago.
You know, I was just about to break that one out, and then you beat me right to it. That line right there, Mr. Josh. So now the tables are turned. I'm gonna have to sue you instead.
Well, you know what they say: abnormal minds think alike.
Nah.
I thought that what they say was all toast is toast toast.
What?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, well, when you pinch Wendy's pennies, they pinch back.
Stop referencing Hotel Mario. Even though I started it. There we are.
Keep that up. You're gonna eat a rubber ducky.
Oh my.
Well, I've heard that they are the one, and they indeed make bath time lots of fun.
Are you awfully fond of them, Josh?
Vovo Vodio. That's the next line of the song.
Is it the Joy of Joy and also your favorite bath time toy?
I I didn't actually have a rubber ducky growing up.
I distinctly remember when I was like 5, 6, there was a rubber ducky, but it was fucking horrible because it didn't float.
Yeah.
It didn't
That was
float,
a
and
suicidal rubber ducky.
it didn't float. Didn't make a squeeze like a squeak noise. It was fucking terrible.
I had a toy boat instead. That's what I had as a child.
I also had one of those, and guess what? It also didn't fucking float.
But it's a boat.
I
It's
know it.
ergonomically a boat is ergonomically designed to float in the water.
It's supposed to float, but mine didn't for some goddamn reason. My bath toys hated me apparently.
So you had a suicidal rubber ducky and a boat that couldn't float.
Taylor says I'm an exclusive member of the I Had a Good Rubber Ducky Club.
Why do I have a feeling that that Rabbit probably still has that rubber ducky somewhere?
He damn well better.
I will say though, there was a rubber ducky that I had later, but it wasn't like a traditional kind of rubber ducky. It was supposed to be like not so much a replacement for a squirt gun, but it was like you fill it up with water and then you you can spray water out of its mouth. That was its function.
That
Oh,
sounds
yeah.
an awful lot like a squirt gun.
Well, I mean, it wasn't like as powerful as a squirt gun.
Right.
You see, it's just
Mhm.
I guess it's just something that you're supposed to be an asshole to your friends with. You just be like, hey, look at my Neato duck. It's dressed up like a basketball player. Oh, that's neat. Hey, why are you splashing water in my face? You are a douchebag now.
I never had a rubber ducky. I had a rubber whale. I
It,
still have said rubber whale in my bathroom drawer. What?
well, you see,
No.
you take things to the next level, right? Because
Welcome to the next level.
I know, right? Because most people, if they have pets, they just have the conventional pets, and so do you. I mean, we've been hearing your cat very loudly all throughout tonight. But you also have a horse, many horses,
Yeah.
and chickens, which
Oh, I
oh
hate the
man,
chickens.
I know that we had a pretty great conversation about how the chickens are all fucking stupid.
What is your opinion? What is your opinion on Chicken Run, the CGI animated movie?
I loved that movie when I was little. I
Was
still like it.
I believe that was a claymation.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my favorite movie when I was little. And for my birthday cake, we got a chicken run birthday cake.
And then you grew older and became disillusioned, and you're like, "Fucking chickens!"
Yes.
I remember wanting to see Chicken Run when it first came out, and then I still never have.
You've never seen Chicken
Really?
Run?
I have not seen Chicken
Wow.
Run.
You missed out.
Wow, we have to sit down and watch Chicken Run.
I wouldn't be opposed. I keep forgetting it exists.
Well, I mean, Taylor is here, so he's heard it. We have to sit down and watch Chicken Run.
At some point, I'm probably gonna go to sleep very soon after this ends. Well, maybe not very soon, but not long enough to be able to like do much more Skyping.
He's gonna go to
That'll be
sleep
a
5 seconds after this ends.
After the whole stream ends. Oh wait, there's a 10 ring box over here. Oh wait, no, that's later in the level.
I think my one of my other favorite movies was the first Ice Age movies. Not the others. I can't stand the other movies, but the first one I thought was hilarious.
Okay, so just the first one?
Yes, just the first one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the first one I thought was really good, and what would have made a really good second movie was if they would have met the kid that they saved later when he was older, and what I think would have been funny was the kid would then have to save them from something.
Or he would kill them.
Or he was trying to kill them. That would be hilarious. But going on with a mammoth that thinks she's a possum, and then to the newest one where there's spaceships. Oh, that was so cheesy.
I actually would love to see a movie where they meet the kid that they saved, and then he's like,
Yes.
"It's a mammoth! Fucking kill it!" And then they have to like hide from the child they saved.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I will not deny that the first Ice Age movie was definitively the best one of all of them. But I still liked 2 and 3 for their own reasons. Like 2 was more on the okay side, but I thought 3 was a
Mm-hmm.
legit good movie.
Yeah, 3 was good,
just
and
not
just because of a Buck.
just not nearly as much as the other ones though. That was because
Yeah.
the first one
It was
set
like,
kind of a standard, and it got into like really interesting areas of like developing the characters in their own sort of way.
mm-hmm.
I
Did you? Oh, sorry. Continue.
I've thought about doing like some kind of an analysis video actually about the first Ice Age movie, but
That would
that
actually be pretty good.
that I would definitely have to write, but I am
Mm-hmm.
definitely not opposed to the thought of doing that.
Did
Yeah,
you
I like
hear?
the.
Go
Oh, say
on.
what?
Did you hear that they're canceling Transformers 6?
No,
Really?
Yeah,
I don't really
they
follow
they
up on those movies anyway, but
they canceled Transformers 6. I guess interest in it was waning a little too low. So they're planning a full universe reboot eventually. We don't know when that's going to happen. But until it happens, we're not getting Bay movies anymore.
well,
I don't know whether to be happy or sad. It's like I kind of like the movies, but kind of not. I don't know. There's always kind of a mixed feeling about all the Transformers movies.
I was never really interested, so no,
Yeah, I like the first one.
I like the first one all right, but then when your fucking school classes choose it 7 times for 7 movie days, I mean, you can watch it, and then there's a certain amount of time where it just becomes like, I think I hate this.
that was that was me in the 2002 Mr. Deeds
Shrek.
movie with Adam Sandler.
Oh
Because
yeah.
like we had it on DVD. It was one of the first DVD movies that we had, and somehow it winded up at my dad's. And for some reason, that was the only fucking movie that was there.
Hmm.
So every time I would go over to my dad's, it was there wasn't much to do. So it was like play a bit of video games, which were always like preoccupied. By someone else who didn't want to watch Mr. Deeds or watch Mr.
Yeah.
Deeds. And I love the part where John McEnroe screams, "You're a disgrace," and then the news reporter responds to that. But you can only see that so many times in such a small amount of space of time, which is I'm not wording this very well at all. But just fucking you get burnt out. I could probably tolerate watching it nowadays because it's been so long, but.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you've had time off of watching a movie that you used to watch for forever, it's not quite as bad. Like my brother, sister, and I, we would watch Lord of the Rings: Two Towers every single night when it first came
Oh.
out.
And
I
those
could
movies
still.
are ungodly long too.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'd skip a bunch of the scenes and just go to the ones that we liked. So we probably shortened it to about an hour and a half. But it's still a good movie, I think.
Like you've got to like a movie to a particular point if you can handle watching it that often though, because like I didn't like Mr.
Yeah.
Deeds that fucking much. Uh,
No.
but like the first Ice Age movie, for example, I've watched it pretty frequently, even into my early teens.
Mm-hmm. Lilo and Stitch. Yes, that's
Le-
a good movie. I
yeah,
love that movie.
Lilo and Stitch was a fucking awesome movie.
We
Yes,
watched
it
the
was.
entire. Well, I shouldn't say we watched the entire canon. We watched most of the entire canon.
Do they really count the anime like worldwide as part of?
Yeah. I mean, like, I made up a little headcanon thing with the anime and the new Stitch and I cartoon in there. I think it genuinely fits together pretty well. Taylor can attest to this. He was there when I brainstormed it. I really think that you can bridge the Western series and the anime and the new Chinese cartoon together.
Well, I mean, that shouldn't be too hard. They themselves attempted to do it.
No, but you can bridge them all together in a way that makes cohesive sense from beginning to end and so on.
Did you see Supersonic was black for a moment? Like
He wanted to go dark.
his fur. You know what? Yeah, Dark Sonic. He was Dark Sonic for a very brief moment, and that apparently scared your cat.
Oh yeah. Spirit Stellar No Simone. Yeah, that's a good movie too. That's a really good movie. That was another movie that I watched a lot when it first came out. Of course, me being into horses was like, best movie ever. And then it came with a game on the DVD, and I played that for a while. But they were really boring games. Shut up, Socks.
Well, you know, DVD extra games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's just, you know, extra shit.
Oh yeah, and then Ice Age, they had games, Sid skateboarding game. Those we played for hours. It was so much fun.
So how about that Shrek bingo? How about that Shrek DVD bingo?
That was awesome.
I've never actually had
Wait a minute! Wait a minute! That is not the opinion I was waiting to hear. I want to know why Shrek Bingo is Brandon's awesome DVD game.
First of all, it's because Shrek is love, Shrek is life. And the Shrek 2 extras were, you know, predictably like DVD extra games, except for the American Idol parody where they actually made like original animations for it and everything. So you know what? They put actual effort into that. I will commend Shrek 2 because they put actual effort into the DVD extra games for the home video release.
None of this is Shrek DVD Bingo, which is the thing that I said to you.
Did you not say it was Shrek 2?
No, I said Shrek DVD Bingo. Where it was literally a bingo game where the Shrek characters called out the numbers, and you got little bingo cards and a little dry erase marker.
Okay, well now that I know that it was apparently a completely separate DVD, I'd still play it because it's the fucking Shrek characters calling out bingo numbers. That sounds great. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, we got a donkey and we never actually named her, so we just call her Donkey. And my brother calls her Donkey.
Well, I mean, someone has to.
He's the stair master. He'll step all over those stairs. Wish you had a stair right now.
You know what? I was confusing it, Josh, with the main menu of the Shrek 2 DVD, which is very much shaped like a bingo board, and they kind of treat it as one, because you know there's like 9 spaces, right? And it's all the characters' heads, or well, not all the characters. That would be a lot of fucking characters.
Oh my God! Somebody's looking at the Shrek bingo game.
Nice.
You absolutely should buy it. Definitely buy a copy of that.
Make our lives. Please buy that.
Like, the Shrek bingo game is like $10 online. I'm sold.
Okay, you can stop doing that now. There we are. Now it's just to destroy you, Eggman. There we are. Fuck you. No, man.
You suck.
Oh, what's going on? Sonic and the Phantom Ruby and the everything, and that's going on. I didn't expect to beat the whole game, but
come on, you always beat the whole game.
Because I didn't think it would go this long, but you know, whatever, screw it. It's not like I had anything else to do tonight, so.
Oh, I see. You didn't want to have a play. You didn't want to have plans with your friends Josh and Taylor tonight, did you?
Josh, I slept 2 hours this morning. I had this as a plan already. So shat it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Brandon's friend, who I don't know the name of yet. What were you about to say?
Who, me?
Yeah, I don't know your name. I guess I'm gonna call you SonicStorm like he does.
You could call me Amber.
All right.
You could have told me that before the stream.
I'm like I said, I have a headache and I'm brain dead. Two things that do not go together. What was I gonna say? I forget. Oh yeah, a good game that I think they need to make is one with Dark Sonic in it.
That
I'd be
was
happy.
Oh shit! It was us. I was gonna be like, oh man, I came up with an idea for an alternate fourth season of Sonic X they could have possibly done, build up a storyline with Dark Sonic, but that was you. That was you, Amber.
Oh, me? Oh yeah, that's right. We were talking about that one day.
Now, when you say Dark Sonic, do you mean Dark Sonic from the anime where he gets all mad and then he just becomes an evil entity? Okay.
Yes.
Because there's also Dark Spine Sonic, which is a different thing and looks entirely different.
Yeah, I'd like to see the struggle of the Dark Sonic from the anime. That I think would make a really good storyline. If they did it right, it'd have to be done right. It couldn't just be. They couldn't just touch on it. They'd have to really go deep into it for it to really work and really make it well or good. What? Otherwise, it'd just be like, meh.
What are the anger and angst issues of a hedgehog, do you think? What are the deep psychological traumas of a hedgehog?
You say that, and they keep thinking about Radagast and The Hobbit in that one scene where he's trying to revive that one hedgehog.
Josh, they have human level intellect and understanding and all that stuff. So
having their crickets taken away.
So you
no more chili dogs. There we go. Taylor did it. It's over.
Ah, okay, yeah. Well, I guess that ends it. But yeah, we're gonna do a bit of a hangout, like usual, for these streams. I don't know why. Why do I embarrass myself like this? But yeah, so any questions, or perhaps we could talk a little more about just like general Dark Sonic ideas. I also had an idea for like you were talking about Unleashed earlier, and how the werehog could have been something else. And I was thinking, it wasn't a terribly fleshed out idea, but it was something similar to Dark Sonic, right? Kind of like a fusion of ideas between Dark Sonic from the anime and like Venom from Spider-Man. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Like have him be like almost a silhouette looking type thing with completely blanked out eyes. And I don't exactly know what his abilities would be in that form, but it'd be kind of like not something completely removed from the daytime stages like the werehog was, but instead it'd be like a variation of them.
Yeah.
And that's how Sonic would like deal with his situation at night. But
yeah, I think the part where I had the most issue with with Unleashed was how, let's see, if I remember right, what did happen? It's like Chip explained to him, or Sonic couldn't figure out why he didn't go bad at night. And Chip was like, "It was because you have a good heart." And I was like, "That's kind of weak. I'd like to see a little bit of a struggle there, because that just makes you go more in depth with the character."
Mr. Monster Guy? I can't do that fucking gravelly voice that he does, but Mr. Monster Guy is like, I think that should be the canonical name for the form. Sonic just turns into Mr. Monster Guy.
The werehog, also known as Mr. Monster Guy.
He's all in a tizzy because he lost his chili dog. I haven't played that game in years. I need to play it again. I really do. I don't even know how to play it anymore.
Yeah, this is the real me. Pretty neat, huh?
No.
Oh. Oh, well, you're just an asshole, Chip.
My brain is so... It's like, I'm done. I really want to edit something now.
Oh shit, we've inspired her.
I don't even know what I'd edit. Oh, let's go and look at some past projects in Adobe. See what I have in here. What do I have in here? Open! Oh, it is already there. Never mind.
Yeah,
Get out.
to Symph, hello. To Plushy Child, it just happens every stream. I just, say something stupid. Or, well, not just something. I say a bunch of things stupid or stupidly. Could word my sentences a little better, but, that's just what happens when you do things live. And
Especially when you have a brain malfunction like me.
Oh yeah, and
things don't work.
Trust me, also Plushy Child, I did not choose to sleep 2 hours. If I had my way, I would have gotten a bit more than that.
You would have gotten 2 hours and 15 minutes.
But yeah, it didn't even felt like huh? You know, that the whole thing I just did about saying things stupidly. But I didn't even feel like I had gotten any sleep, and that's about the 2 hour mark where like you still are like your sleep isn't deep enough to where you would feel like you got any sleep after about 2 hours. But whatever, fuck it. I'm just trying to think of something to talk about. Since this was supposed to be a writing and video editing little discussion thing, but that kind of
it kind of morphed into something else.
It's morphed into complete and total weird
Shenanigans.
Yeah,
Shenanigans.
it just like instead of putting the game title in when I'm editing the info for this video, like I wouldn't have done it anyway, but it just like it'll just be skull902 live stream 2/27/18 with SonicStorm12 and ThatHatGuy, and then in the brackets I'll just put Shenanigans.
What are authors that you guys like? Says the chat.
I don't really read books, to be honest.
Well, I mean, you can't not like Tolkien. I mean, dude was genius. Him and C.S. Lewis both. They're my favorites.
I only know of like a couple, and they're all like children's book authors. C.S. Lewis, like she said, Chronicles of Narnia, J.K. Rowling, R.L. Stein. Lots of 2 initials and then a last name going on here.
Lots of British.
Yeah, I'll break that out. I like Lemony Snicket. That's the author that I like.
Yeah, he's pretty good too.
Because
I really like the first book of Harry Potter, but then the rest of them, or the second book's pretty good too, but then the rest of them just feel kind of rushed, and like the editors just didn't really care to put any kind of work into the rest of the books because they knew it was going to sell regardless how much money they dumped into it. So that's just kind of what it seems like.
I think a series of unfortunate events ended up molding how I write things a lot more than I would like it to. Because, again, I do fancy a dark horror story.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that in some small part, or medium-sized part at least, came from reading those books as a child.
Yeah. Did I find the? I did. Oh wait, no, never mind. That's a different.
You found
project.
a rubber ducky? Shit.
Yes, I did. I found the epic rubber ducky. That is the wrong project.
Joy of joy, bath time toy, yeah.
Oh, my 10-year special that I was going to edit that I never did.
Amber, Amber, Amber.
Mm-hmm.
You're becoming Professor Calamitous. You're not finishing anything that you're starting.
I got 24 seconds in, and I quit. Oh wait, no, not even 24 seconds. It was, where did it end? 20 seconds. And it was pretty badass too.
Oh goodness!
I think I started making that last year. Yeah, last year. And I haven't even uploaded it yet. I think I gave it to someone to use for their MEP. It's like, hey, oh wait, wasn't it you who is it here in the Shadow Silver? I gave it to you, didn't I? Are you still here?
Goodness.
Oh, wait a minute. I think it was his.
What? God, I really need to pay attention. I just had I'd like the worst tired spell just now, for some reason.
Yes, it was him. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I gave him the part, and he used it in a MEP, which everyone did a really good job, I thought. It was a fun project. Of course, I wasn't really a part of it. I didn't make the video with the intention of it going into a MEP. It just kind of like, oh, it fits. Here, you take it. I'm not doing anything with it anymore.
Well.
Wow.
As far as the unfinished projects, I suppose I can connect this to a recent event. The Olympics just ended. And I was supposed
watch
to
a single event.
Oh yeah, I remember what you're about to say.
I was supposed to do a whole thing about the Olympics as a parody of the old Mario and Sonic adverts, or the little things that they put online with the mascot costumes. And I had the first installment done, and then YouTube was like, "No, you can't have this. It says idiots on it." So I was like, "Okay, I'm just gonna edit this whole series into one thing, and it'll be good." And then all of the voice acting, it wasn't complete. I didn't have all the lines, so I couldn't really do it, and I never really bothered to send reminders because I had other projects I needed to work on. So if I finished it now, I'd have to change a bit of material and try to make it as something for a hype for 2020 instead.
We got lots of time to do that.
Of course.
Shadow was like, I have like 5 unfinished projects in my Vegas right now, and I have about 3 I plan on starting. Well, guess what? I got like 20 that I started, and I never finished, and I never even uploaded. It's a sad world. Sad, sad world.
And I guess if you want to go on a technicality, even though I do intend on finishing it, I do have those 3 Let's Plays that I started last month that I haven't touched at all this month.
Yeah, I'll give you something for unfinished projects. Octodad playthrough when?
Oh yeah, all that footage that you recorded 4 years ago. He went above and beyond in his effort to record that, and then it never materialized.
That sounds so sad.
He recorded it in 120 frames per second.
Oh wow.
You got a future proof. One day the human eye will be able to see 120 seconds video, 120 frame per second video, and I'll be there.
120-second video, huh? Then
Yeah.
we must
2-minute long video.
We must be breaking people's fucking minds right now, going on for 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Oh god.
But I think this could be a good stopping point, unless if we've got any subjects of discussion we might want to cover. Just one more thing about, I don't know, writing or anything like that. I suppose I could try to say, like, to anyone who is thinking about writing or whatever. I know I had advice on a stream a couple months ago, and I'm gonna try to remember what I said. But like, if you want to start writing for stuff, or if you're beginning or just wondering what you should do, just keep trying, man. Just keep trying.
Yes.
Absolutely. Just like test yourself and see what works to you, what doesn't. My thing has always been like, I would ask myself when I write something, what makes sense, especially if I'm doing like a storyline and stuff. If a character does something, or if a major event happens in this story, will it make sense in the long run? And that's something you got to consider. Uh, you know, uh, and whether it's a serious project like a drama or something like a comedy, just keep working at it, and you'll learn. Even if you haven't been taught in classes or anything like that, you will learn.
Yeah.
Like I did.
Mhm.
Uh, about like storytelling and stuff like that. And you can always ask people. It's not a bad thing to ask if you're stuck. That's something
Yeah.
I'll say. Uh,
Yeah, and I guess one of the other important things is it doesn't matter how bad the first draft is. That's just your draft. All you're trying to do with the first draft is just get your idea down, and then you can go back and edit and make it correct. But a lot of people, they try to make it perfect right off the bat, and they lose interest because they're having such a hard time trying to get it to be perfect, and it's just not going to be perfect on the first try.
Yeah,
It's going to take.
Frank Oz says that too. He says that for your first draft, you just got to take your brain out and set it down and write things, and then you can put your brain back in and fix it.
Yeah. Yeah, fix it and make it pretty, and then make it shareable. I guess that would be the correct word. Shareable. The word.
so yeah, got some writing advice for you down, because we needed to fucking talk about writing at some point in this stream that was intended to talk about writing and video editing, all that nice stuff. But yeah, even though it got a little random and just shenanigans, I think I had a good chill time. Amber, thank you so much for giving me the idea in the first place. That was it was definitely an interesting thing, and we'll have to try this again, but like actually have some points written down first.
Yeah.
And Josh, thanks for popping in and being a part of the discussion as well.
Sure, nice to meet you, Amber.
Nice to meet you too.
Alrighty, everyone. So I have been skull902, and they have been ThatHatGuy and SonicStorm12, and we thank you so much for watching. Wish you all a good night, and take care. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.